Hello everyone, it's Electronic Gore back again with another video on my Aibo here. His name is Binkabog for any of you who don't know already. Now you guys are probably wondering what the heck is going on with his poor little paws right here. So today I wanted to experiment a bit with seeing if I could color his toenails here because I've sort of been wanting him to have some brown paws and dark brown claws to match with his brown ears. These are not his original ears. I got these from the Aibo accessories shop. I've actually dyed these with this Rit Dymore synthetic chocolate brown. These are originally clear. Now I wanted to see if I could color these claws, which are rubber. They're not silicone like these are though. I wanted to see if I could color these with the same Rit dye that I used for the ears. But my only concern was that these claws here are rubber. Since they're not silicone, I'm not really sure what kind of rubber these are. And some rubbers are known to melt in high temperatures, and this dye requires near boiling water in order for the dye to actually pick up in the material you're using. Now that definitely would not be great if I had his poor little claws melting when I'm just trying to get them to be a cool color. So here's what I did. I took some of the inside of the claw here. You can see where I've actually taken just a little sliver out of it, and it still fits the same with that piece missing. But I took that little sliver out, and I actually did go ahead and put it into the boiling pot with some of the dye in it. So here's what it looks like. I'm very glad to say that it did not melt in the hot water, and it did pick up the dye, like, way more than I thought it would. It's just completely black, basically. So I'm definitely going to be wanting to add a little bit less dye in the big batch. Considering these claws are already very dark, they're dark gray, they're probably not going to pick up a lot of different colors very well. I think dark brown is a good choice. I honestly wouldn't be too upset if they turned out just to be basically black. I think it'd still look nice. I actually have edited here a little concept for what I want the customization to look like. So these paws here I colored brown and the claws are dark brown. You can see sort of some of my mistakes with the editing here. But yeah, I think he'd look really nice with some brown paws to match his brown ears. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But first we're going to be dyeing these claws and seeing how that turns out. If anything ends up going wrong during this process, I'll definitely have to add a warning on this video to not try this yourself, but I'm hoping since this turned out good. This little sliver actually even touched the bottom of the pan and it's like completely unscathed, so I'd assume the rest of the claws should be fine too. Also, if you're curious on how to remove the sole of the foot with the claws here, you will need a specific kind of screwdriver. This here is called a JS00 screwdriver, or Japan standard, but this is different from a Phillips head in that it is flat on the end instead of like pointed or curved, I suppose. But this is the screwdriver, the kind of screwdriver you'll be needing to remove the screw on the bottom of the foot here, which is the only screw. I got mine in this really nice set from the iFixit website, so I might go ahead and link that in the description. Promise I'm not sponsored, by the way. So yeah, for the foot here, it's just one screw, and when you start screwing it out here, you can actually see the bottom of the foot starts to pop out a bit. There's a spring in there that's pushing on the sole of the foot, but I promise it's not gonna like jump out at you or anything. So go ahead and take that out. So I like to sort of stick my fingernail under the bottom of it here. You can get between the gap, and then you pry it up and out, and it comes out like this. And there's the bottom of the foot. Oh, he's very dusty in there, oh my goodness. I should clean out all these little plastic pieces, but here's the spring. I haven't had them fall out before, but you do need to be careful you're not going to lose any of these little pieces. So the claws quite literally just slide out like this. So yeah, next I'm going to be trying to dye these little pieces. I hope nothing horrible happens to them in this process. I haven't really heard of this method of customizing before, which is why I was quite a bit nervous to try it out, but going to see. He's getting his nails done. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. Alright, so I got the water heating up now, and this is just a little contraption that I like to call the Toe Dangler 3000. So I have all of his claws here, tied around this spoon. These are just little twisty ties, and the tape's only here because one of these was a little bit too short to actually wrap around the stick. So basically this is just going to be going in here like this. To be sure that they don't like float up to the top or sink down to the bottom. Even though the little sliver didn't really melt on the bottom, I still don't want to risk it. I have my dye here. I'm going to try not to add quite as much as I did the first time. Just a little bit, guys. Just a little bit. Don't need very much. That was like a tiny little dollop, and it just makes this big black cloud. We'll just swirl that around a little bit. We place the claws into the boiling pot. That's not quite fully submerged, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more water in there. And that looks good. So, we'll wait to see how these turn out in like probably 30-ish minutes. So here you can see I actually let Binko Bog run around with his claws missing for a little while. As you can see, it does look very strange. He just has these holes in his paws now. Anyways, I forget to say this later in the video. The claws really only sat in the water for maybe 45-ish minutes before I decided they were good to go. But the dye really did pick up very, very fast. You'll see that here in this next clip. So I've had these in here for about 20 minutes, give or take. So see what they look like. Alright, so they look a bit darker. They look a little pinkish, which is interesting. They were gray originally, so I figure they're not going to be super duper brown, but I'm still very excited to see how these turned out in the end. So it doesn't turn out super well on camera here, but these did turn out a very nice dark chocolatey brown. I'm really happy with how these look coming out of the dye bath. Like, holy crap, you guys. I wasn't expecting quite this nice of an outcome. Quite excited to see how these look put back into the Aibo. I'm letting them finish off drying here. They're still a little bit wet in some crevices, and I just don't want to risk having any of that moisture trapped inside my bow. So you can see he's still without claws over here. I'm going to be dusting him up a bit. I give him like a weekly routine clean, and I'm going to be doing that before I put these claws back in him. And then I'll show you guys how these claws look on the Aibo. Wow. Hello again. It's been about 4 days since I recorded the first part of this video because I pretty much just forgot that I was making a video, but anyway, here are his lovely claws now. You can see now that they are installed in the paw, they are actually very nice, chocolatey brown. I mean, you probably saw it before too, but I think it shows up a lot more. The lighting makes it look kind of funny on my camera here, but they are very lovely. I do like them a lot. So yeah, the RIT synthetic dye method of coloring the claws is a success. So if you guys want to go ahead and try this yourself with your own Aibo, if you want them to have darker colored claws than they already do. I think my only tips would be, I think keeping them suspended in the water is a good idea, and don't have the water set all the way to boiling. I had it about halfway, and I let it bubble. Like, I had it turned up, but I turned it down to half when I actually put the claws in there, just because taking extra precautions, you know. Look at him showing off his little claws. He's so cute. So I'll be making a part 2 when I go ahead and paint his paws. I can't do it quite yet because it's still blizzarding out where I live. I can't really I can't really spray paint anything when it's cold. It's April here and it's still blizzarding. Oh my goodness, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my Binko Bog and his little winnie.